Hello everybody, my name is Bosco8, and for this video, we will be talking about the quirks in Heroes Online 2. Now, I've already gone over this in previous videos, but this is basically an update to that tier list. And unlike those other videos, I will be splitting this up into two sections almost. One going to be going over the PvP and the other going over the PvE. I've basically combined them into one big tier list so that's just easier for viewing purposes. So I hope you all enjoy! Alright, Tail. What is there to say about Tail? I've already said a lot about it in my other clip and video, so I might use clips from that again. Basically, it's a common quirk. It's probably the first one you'll get if you run out of spins. It scales off of strength. Mainly, the only thing I would really have to say about it is that it gets very boring very fast. Easy combo starters, easy combat style, good awakening, works well with other quirks. PvE wise, especially in raids, it's an easy S tier. It's just works so well, but the main issue is, again, it just gets, personally, I want to rank it lower because it just gets very predictable and boring. But again, it's your first quirk. It's like, you know, baby's first quirk. If you want to understand how to do the game at all, if you want to understand how to play the game, it's a common for a reason. It's just the starter quirk. But my god, does it work well as a starter quirk. You have so many things to do with it. You have your own animation, first off. Combat-wise, you have your own combat style. You got tail spin. Then you have tail dash. And then let's not forget the roar. And then rising tail spin. Use these in conjunction. You got an easy combo starter. Easy combo. So whenever you use these in raids, you can just get a group of NPCs, hit them up with a tailspin, then do the roar, and then oh my god, they're just dead. And since it scales off of strength, it works well with muscular. I wouldn't recommend using giant. Again, giant's kind of useless at this point. Homing spin's also good, and it has its own awakening with a tailed beast bomb and its own custom M1s, which do in fact have a little bit of a reach. Meaning that is good. Now, I see Giant with this sometimes in 1v1s. That's okay. That's okay. But again, PvE-wise, this is like what you want to go to if you're like first starting out in the game. Now, obviously, it scales off the quirk stat, and it's a mythic, which also makes it good. I wouldn't recommend rolling it off because they might do something with it in the future, if you know what I mean. Other than that, the only real complaint I have about the quirk is the Gamma Gauntlets. That now just stuns the enemies, and you lose the ability to knock them against the wall, which kind of just is not great for combo potential. So you run into that issue. But that doesn't really affect you that much in PvE. It also works well with other quirks too. It's like more of a main quirk type of thing. Now, for our next quirk, I am talking about OFU, which is very weird considering where it is already on the list. But for PvE-wise, I'm going to be giving it an obvious S tier. Nothing really to complain about. You have a good solid move set up here with the finger flick smash, or the finger smash anyways it's called, the ground smash, deluxe smash, and you have two awakenings, the green cowling and the 100% full cowling. Now, obviously, preferences-wise, I would recommend sticking with the green cowling. It uses up less stamina. In raids, this is an obvious good quirk to have. The only real useless move that it has is probably the powerful leap, but that's pretty much it. The other moves are very good. The 100% cowling, though, is the part where you're going to have a bit of trouble with the Infinity Smash and the Infinity Barrage. I would recommend using the Infinity Smash, but I would also recommend highly using the Saint Arkham Smash from the green cowling moveset. You also get your own combat animation, which makes it look very good. Now, normally I'd rank this quirk in the S tier for PvP, but recently, especially with the Gamma Gauntlet debuff a bit, I have to give it a tier for PvP. It just does not have that great combo potential, and also since you do use up a lot of stamina, the best thing that you can do with it is to run it with like the Golden Gear Blade, so that way you have some sword moves to mix in and you're not just fully relying on Quirk. Because again, I recommend using either the Flash Step move from the knife skill tree or the Infinity Dashes. Because what I would recommend for awakening moves is definitely the St. Arkham Smash, because that's going to be a dash attack, so you dash into somebody and then use it. And then just only the ground smash and deluxe smash. You could use the finger smash move, but the problem with that move is, yeah, it knocks people into walls, but it's very easy to parry. And because there's been some new updates in the game that have countered OFU, it's very low tier a bit right now. Not too bad, but until like some more things like a certain other quirks that might be added onto it are put into the game, you definitely want to get something where it doesn't really hamper your abilities to play. So like, get a good secondary quirk is all I can really say with that. Alright, our next quirk is Shock. I don't even really need to go into it. It scales off the quirk stat. It's an epic. It's one of the most broken quirks in the game. It's great for comboing. And it just stuns really long. The only thing I really have to say about it is it has a very weird start to it, like when you first start the game. But other than that, it's just works so well, especially the moves later down the line. It's a bit like with Gravity, but the fact that it has an awakening and that it's just very easy to understand and just very useful at times. And the fact that it just stuns for so long makes it so versatile in many situations, especially in raids. In raids, you can just group them all together, shock them, and then combo them with another shock move. A lot of the moves with shock have a lot of combo potential, so making raids with friends is very easy to do. You could just shock them, a friend comes out, helps you, they beat them up. Solo-wise, it's also very easy to do with solo. It is very easy to understand. There's not much to go on it because it just is that good. Every move of Shock is very useful. Also, you get your own custom dashes, which not a lot of other quirks do have, besides, I believe, OFU. So, yeah. I would not see why you wouldn't want to get this for, like, fast leveling up in PvE. Alright, Shock for PvP. Again, S tier. I already explained it in the PvE section, but in case you really do want to know, Shock has a teleport move with your awakening, which already sets you up for double combos, so that's great. It's also a long range move, so that basically means you are very annoying as well. You have one move which lets you pull people in for easier combos, and another move that's long range, and while not powerful, it's very annoying and easy to snipe people with. I think the one that pulls people in is called Electric Stream, which while jutting forward And this also works very well with gravity, keep in mind. You will pull people in. Now, would I say it's better than Flame? I think I'm going to have to change that in my tier list to be just below Flame, but not by much. Not by much. Overall, Shock is just broken. It's so good and so useful in so many ways. Especially the funny lightning grab move. And while that's hard to pull off, it also makes for hilarious moments. So yeah, there's not much to say with Shock. Easy S tier. Go get it for yourself and try it out. It works well with various quirks also. Alright, our next one is Hula Hoop. Hula Hoop is the unique quirk in the game in that it's custom made. Hula Hoop is very weird. I have to say PvE wise, I give it a C. Mainly because it acts more as a support than actually using it by itself. It does have a couple of good moves, but it's mainly there to help people, not help you, which is very weird. So before I get talking into why I gave it the C ranking, Hula Hoop mainly is a quirk that scales off the quirk stat. It is a epic, and the main issue is that it is a full-on support quirk. You can heal yourself and teammates, give yourself and teammates a speed boost, while also having a bit of a stun move with Hula Hoop, which, while cool and all, does not very well help you. You also can ride Hula Hoop, so that means you basically traverse the land, which is useful. You have a barrage move, but again, that's only one move. The rest of your moveset is mainly there just to help your teammates. So it's more useful in the sense that, and I'll get into this with other quirks, is that it's very, very good in team battles. You're basically like the white mage, but if you're going into raids, I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're just there to heal yourself. So secondary quirk-wise, great. First quirk-wise, bad. I would have to, it's probably going to be the only C tier quirk for PvE. Now, PvP-wise, Hula Hoop is a A tier. If it had an awakening, I'd give it the S tier. But it's a definite A tier. Just due to the fact that you can heal your teammates, give yourself a boost in speed and others. Well, that does play a bad part with like giving your enemies a speed boost, but you would mainly only use this during the beginning of the match. Hula Hoop is just so useful as a secondary quirk in PvP. The fact that you can heal yourself and teammates, along with binding people and like making fast getaways, makes it an excellent quirk for like support. I would recommend like just having someone on your team run this so that they can provide everybody else like healing and boosting. Overall, this is like the one quirk that you kind of want to get for team battles. You at least want to have one person who has this. Again, this is your white mage of the group. They're going to be healing you, providing you anything you need to like get the job done. They're just there for the heals. But it also lets you heal yourself too. So it's very hard to say. Like, that's really all I can say about its moveset. It's just as a good support quirk. Alright, our next quirk is Muscular. Now, Muscular is one of the newest quirks. It scales off of strength, and it is a legendary. Now, obviously, PvE-wise, Muscular is an S tier. I would put it as one of my higher S tiers for PvE, just due to the simple fact it's very versatile. You can combine it with other quirks, even that scale off of the quirk stat, and just main Muscular. You can have those secondary quirks be a combo extender, especially for PvE. Muscular just works so well with every quirk except for OFU. And I'll get into that as to why. You have a variety of moves that just cause that causes AoE damage. You have the Muscular Uppercut. When combined with your Awakening, the Triple Smash is just a true combo. Then you have Precision Smash, which can just wall slam about any NPC. And then you have Muscular Barrage, which works so well in raids. God, it works beautifully in raids. You could just wipe out a whole base of NPCs with this. And then you have your final move, which is your Awakening. This gives you a buff in stamina, meaning you're able to run faster as well. You have the triple smash like I told you before, but this basically causes wall smash damage, so you're basically pinned to the ground if you get hit by it. And it happens 3 times. When combined with Muscular Uppercut, it's a true combo. Muscular Beatdown works better if you have something like Flame, which lets you dash towards an opponent and grab them. It's a single target use. You can evade out of it, but with NPCs, they don't know what's going to happen. Now, of course, with all grabbing moves, it does not work on bosses. Now, you can upgrade your muscular resistance, which is, you know, you will have, like, muscular damage, but it doesn't really hurt you that much. And overall, it's just a really good quirk to have. It's just works so well. It's so fun to use. Which is why I have to give it an S tier in PvE. Now, PvP-wise for Muscular, it's an S tier. Why? One simple reason, my good friend. You get to get your get back at all of those OFU users. Because you cause damage to them. Each muscular hit causes muscle damage to, and especially, OFU users. Not only that, but, my god, the damage. It is so good for setting up combos and dealing so much damage, especially with weapons like the Golden Gear Blade. It is so good to do it with. You can set up with very good combo quirks such as Shock, Gravity, Overhaul especially, or Underhaul as it's called now. But it's so good to have, especially with like splitting flames from flame. While you can dodge out of that, if you make someone use their evasive and then use the splitting flames and muscular beatdown, it's a true combo. They can't escape out of it. They're forced to take the damage. Muscular is just very annoying, but also very fun to use because it's the fact that you're getting charged by essentially Broly from DBZ. It is so much fun. And all of its moves are just easy combo makers. You slam someone against the wall, use the muscular barrage, and they just can't do anything but take that damage. They are forced to take that damage. So overall, yeah, Muscular is just an easy S tier when it comes to PvP. Now, as always, this next quirk, Underhaul, it's Overhaul. I'll say that again in my PvE section. But it scales off the quirk stat, and it's a mythic. It will become a legendary in the future, so it's just there as a placeholder, which is why I do say you might not want to spin for it, because, again, it is going to be a legendary in the future. Alright, Underhaul. What is there to say about Underhaul? Well, besides the fact that Underhaul basically is just HO1's Overhaul, with only one new move, it's the same. It's very good for PvE, gathering up opponents, healing yourself, and then dealing some secondary quirk damage. It blocks people from healing, which is good, and the Awakening is also very good for PvE. You get to do the final swipe, which basically one-shots an entire room of NPCs, so that makes everything with that just simply easier. Monstrous Arms causes a good knockback. I just wish it had more variety to it. That's the only thing I would have to say. You get to heal yourself, and you get a new move which lets you charge spikes forward. Other than that, it's pretty much the same from HO1. That's pretty much all I could say with PvE-wise, which is why I do have to still give it a S tier for PvE. If it had something else to it, I'd give it a bit higher, but it's just underwhelming is all. Alright. This one was very hard to figure out for Underhaul with PvP. While the moveset does look like it would work well in PvP, Final Swipe is more of just, it's up to your own luck and how you play to land it. At half health with people who have that, they will die in one shot. The only issue is, again, it's a bit hard to land, but if you practice enough, I'm sure you'll be able to dash it to your opponent and do it. The only problem with Underhaul is that it works also against your own teammates, in the sense that the charging lances, or I believe they're called the guiding lances, while make great for good combos like, you know, wall smashes and everything, your teammates can't pass through them, meaning they're still going to get stuck in that. In the sense of, it's very annoying on a small map. So you're going to just have guided lances everywhere, and it just makes hell of just the whole map. It's so hard to traverse. And it really is just more annoying than useful. Like, I get it. You have a good heal move. You got some good AoE moves. You got an auto-tracking move. You have a good combo move. But it just works also so badly against your own team. like, you can't really do much but just, like, say, yeah, I gotta deal with it. I just gotta deal with it. And also, it's just very underwhelming. Like, it gets very boring very fast. Like, it works well in PvP, but, I mean, like, that's really all that I could say about it. It just works well. I mean, there's nothing really exciting about it except the fact that you got one new move and you could self-heal without needing a person with Hula Hoop. And that's pretty much it. If it had more to it, I would probably rank it in an S tier, but I have to give it a high A at best. If it just wasn't annoying and, you know, you could pass through the guided lances if you were on that person's team, then okay. But, you know, I can't. I still have to jump over them. And also the fact that it doesn't help the fact that it just feels like it was released too soon. It really is just like a double-edged sword in a way that it's just more annoying than useful. Alright, we've reached the last quirk. This quirk is both the greatest quirk in the game while being the worst quirk in the game. It is a common. It scales off the quirk stat. And it is none other than mind control. I know, but let me explain. Mind control and PvE. Oh boy, what do I have to say about that? It is one of the worst quirks to get in PvE, because mainly the whole purpose of the quirk is to build the brainwash meter. And guess what? That does not work on NPCs. Yes, they do take damage, but it does not do the true damage that your brainwash meter would do. And while you do have an awakening, it's not that useful. It works better on people than it does on actual NPCs. It does not work well on bosses either. So in raids, it is dog water. It is trash. It is one of the worst quirks to ever have if you're starting Heroes Online 2. But that's because it's one of the best for PvP, and I'll explain. Now, PvP wise, for mind control, is an automatic S tier, our highest S tier actually, because of one thing and one thing only. Mind control, for those of you who do not know, and I do not know why, it is in the game, has an auto parry. It is called taunt. And this is where it gets so annoying, because the taunt ability is able to parry anything. And you heard me say that right. Anything. Shock, oh boy, you can auto parry that. OFU, you can definitely parry that. Underhaul, say goodbye to those moves. Gravity, yeah, you can definitely auto parry that. Flame, I don't know how, but I kid you not, you can auto parry the Flame Burst and Flame Eruption. Shock, did I mention Shock? Yeah, you could just auto parry all of its moveset. You really can't do anything. And finally, Ice. Is there anything else I forgot to mention? Oh yes, everything else in the game can be auto-parried. It is so annoying. And not only that, but you also have a move that lets you invert people's controls, which, while not bad, is just more annoying as heck. Now, again, your whole purpose of this moveset is to basically build a brainwash meter, which will damage opponents. Now, this is where it gets even more dumb, because what they fail to mention is you're basically invincible. See, let me explain. If you pair up mind control with a range-based quirk, you cannot be touched. If someone tries to come near you, they're going to get mind controlled. If someone tries to use a range quirk on you, you will parry them. If someone tries to run away, you will use your range quirk on them. No matter what, you cannot do anything against a mind control user who then has a range-based quirk. Alright, thank you to everybody who was watching this till the end and stayed for part 2. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of more upcoming things that I'm going to do. I'm probably going to be taking a tiny bit of a break and a rest after doing this all. Been editing this for a while. But as always, my name is Bosco8, and I will see you all later. Here are the final rankings for everything in the tier list. I did switch some things about so that it'll make a bit more sense. But, yep, here is everything. Thank you to everyone, and I will see you all later.